he's not betting today, and Jet was like, you literally just sent in an 18.
Low risk, high reward, Bob. That's what you do when you're down in the dumps.
But why would you do that all the time? Low risk, high reward.
Because I don't.
Easier said than done.
It's very low risk.
Also, it depends. You're saying low risk financially, but it's high risk winning.
Yeah, it's not. It's unlikely to happen.
Right.
So I wouldn't.
So that would make it high risk, in my opinion.
Well, it's low risk in how much money.
Financial risk in that I'm financially not committing myself to a whale, but I'm dabbling, and if I get lucky, I could get back, but most likely I'm not going to, and I'm not going to further hemorrhage myself into a position I don't want to be.
He had service driving through those mountains yesterday when none of us had service. All right, we are in Bandon, Oregon.
Sure.
We are in the bush.
We are, we're really out here. I'm excited though. I think the course is going to be really nice. I think a lot of times we can go in the middle of nowhere. Joey D's been pumping it for a bit now. I didn't know you only had one day here. I thought you had a whole trip here.
Yeah, we played one day. We actually played another
for one day.
No, we played another day. We played a course nearby called Bandon Crossings, which was really nice.
When was this?
Yaloha, I don't know how many years ago. Yeah, 2017, 2018.
3 rounds of
all
golf,
the way
right?
here for one.
But we were coming from Vancouver.
Did you drive?
Yes.
What's that
We
drive?
drove from Vancouver to here. It was like 10 hours, 11 hours.
Wait, you guys did that for one day?
No, we didn't you didn't listen to me. I said
I'm asking.
We played multiple days. We only did one day at the resort because we played 3 rounds in one day.
Gotcha.
Which was something I'll never do again. We literally got first tee time at Bandon at 6:40 in the morning. We teed off. We then played Pacific Dunes around noon, and we played Old McDonald around 5 o'clock. We got off the course at 8:30. We were on the course on and off from 6:40 in the morning till just before 9 o'clock at night.
54 holes?
Yes, and we could barely walk. We did no caddies, so we were push karting. It was some of the worst chafing I have ever experienced in my entire life. It was like we had come back from the battlefield. We could barely walk. That being said, gorgeous courses. I won the Aloha that year, so it was special to me. And you are going to love it. This guy may never leave.
I'm interested. I'm looking at property. Zillow, I've been on all day. Yeah, I like it here. I've looked around, Bob. Yeah, I have. I
really like that river we were driving.
Yeah,
next to
that was pretty cool.
time,
Umpakua. I loved that river. There's there's a lot of property to build too, and I saw some of the other houses. No offense, but it looked like it seemed affordable.
Are you looking to build?
I'm looking to build.
Do you know how to build?
I can't build in Florida yet. I think I could build here.
You want to start build?
I think. I could
What are you going to
start
buy? A couple
building,
acres?
dude. Yeah, no more than 3, but more than 1. Okay. Yeah, a little river house.
You'd even like,
2 acres for the man.
Would you like a river house?
Yeah.
No,
you would like a house.
Yeah, a house, a river house,
Sure.
a cabin.
Do you like it here? Do you like
No,
the
this
solitude?
is. I think it's too out there. I think when we get out, like that drive we had was nice, but once the service is gone, it's some out. And also, I haven't. I think sure the resort's beautiful. That's going to be pretty sick.
Oh,
but
it's really nice.
There's dogs howling at night. There's people like.
I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about by the water.
No,
We're
I
in the
don't.
cut right here.
Water doesn't do it for me. Typically.
Really?
Yeah.
I love a good body of water, man.
he doesn't swim.
He doesn't like, yeah.
Well,
Would
I
you
can swim. I just don't.
Would
I
you
just
sink
don't
like a
do it.
stone then?
Can you swim?
I like to sit in a boat. Like we've done a few boats, which have been fun.
Those are tight.
You can't swim?
No, I can swim, but like I don't. Just not like. I don't like it.
You can swim with a life jacket on.
No, I can swim in like a pool. If you toss me in the
doggy
ocean, I
paddle.
will die.
You know who's surprisingly
I'm not
good
swimming in an ocean.
Good swimmer, this guy. He's
I
pretty
believe it.
graceful. Remember when we were in Memphis and we went in the pool and he was like doing that lap and he did that like when you
Turn.
go, yeah, the
He
turn,
did the turn.
Dude, I still
at
want
the
to
wall.
I'm an athlete.
He did like a dive and turned in the water. It was pretty
I
unbelievable.
still want to do a Bob to Sports relay race for behind the scenes, like a
God.
swimming relay race. I think would be hysterical. Like waiting for the next guy to get there, tap
It's like
him
jumping
in.
over him.
Yeah, I think it would be so funny. Speaking of building,
Somebody is vibrating the shit out of their phone
think
right
that
now.
could be
It's got to be
demon.
Doc. It must be something. There's just a lot of vibrating going on.
All right, well, it turned on silent, so I put it on my lap.
That's when it starts
This
vibrating.
couch is like, I don't know. Reverberating.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's a lot of vibrations happening.
Speaking of roosters, I had a rooster this morning.
Did you hear?
His name was Joseph DeMar.
Oh,
that was my rooster.
I didn't think he was going to
there's
film.
nowhere I could do.
I thought you were going to film in your room on that
you told me
desk.
to do it on the desk. There's no desk in my room.
I was talking about like that little the side table to take a chair.
I got news for you. These walls are paper thin. It wouldn't have mattered if I was in my room. Last night when we were in bed, I could hear the conversations downstairs. It's not. I apologize in advance, but Michael has a full day NFL party and tomorrow, and this was the only time we could film.
Who's Mike?
Was Bear Down Cuz. And the only time that we could film was at 6:45, 7 in the morning. So
the reason I woke up at 6:45 today was because of Bear Down Cuz, not
Yes.
because of you. Okay, got
Yeah,
it. I just need to point this
I
anger
could
at
have
somebody.
sworn it was you.
I'm doing a podcast. What do you want? I apologize in advance. I'm very sorry, but I can't whisper into the computer.
You're gonna have 2 podcasts under your belt before 10 a.m.
Yeah, and that's exactly where we're at right now.
You want to do a third?
No, I really don't, because we got NFL Sunday coming up, and I'm very excited
spend
for
that
it.
with you boys. I really am.
fun.
We get the first slate of games. We won't. But afternoon we'll get some of.
I'm going back to bed.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You're not going to watch the games?
Not to start, no. I'm exhausted. I'm fucking tired.
Hey, listen, I'd rather him be prepared and ready for Bandon.
I'd rather be prepared for week one.
Me too. You know what? I
I'm
would
fucking
rather-
tired, bro. I had a long day yesterday.
He
That
drove.
drive
You gotta
wasn't
give him
so
credit.
chill, and
Yeah.
It's true,
You
man.
know, you know what
I
I'm thinking
didn't
about?
sleep very much.
I'd rather him banned.
After we had that Wendy's, I don't know how you drove to where like I was just so full that it just tired me out to the thought of then going 4 hours. And we have such a big car that we couldn't even talk to you guys, which kind of sucked because like when we were all together and have a no, I'm serious.
No,
when we
I'm
have a
just thinking about
conversation-
what the
yeah,
car
it's
looks
true.
like in our van
the
right
conversations make it go so much faster.
That van
Ticket
stinks.
and Perez were so far up. We got this big van
now.
that we couldn't even
we hear
talk
you,
to
we
you
heard
guys.
you guys giggling a lot.
There were
We're
some
giggling.
characters
We
in
had
the
some fun up
Wendy's
there.
too, by the way. Did you guys see some of the characters in there?
Yeah.
Dude, we started. If you think about it,
this
Central
parlay.
Time. I woke up at 7:30
Yeah.
a.m. Central Time. We walked through this door 10:30 Pacific Time.
No,
Yeah, and 4.
8:30.
8:30.
8:30.
Still 8:30.
It would have been 10:30.
But 10:30
that's
10:30
like a-
Central.
What is
Yeah.
that? Is that like 12, 13, 14 hours day of travel?
10:30 Central. We got up. You got up at 7:30. So
That's 15 hours.
15 hours.
yeah.
Yeah, it took us
Of
15
commercial-free
hours to get
football.
from Dallas to
The worst part was the rental car.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
rental
Rental
cars
car
are
is
nice.
People
for 2
telling me now
hours.
that there's this thing that you can have where you just walk up to the car and you take it. You don't have to even see them.
That's well. The issue was they didn't have cars. It would have worked for us because we
What is with
we had a
these-
fleet of vans to choose from.
What is
That's
with
what I
these
didn't
rental
like. It's
places
like
not
they were
having
waiting.
cars?
They're like, we don't have a car, so they just stand there. It's like, you know, you've got a bunch of vans. Go through the line and see if like anyone's getting a van. Like, hey, is anyone getting a 15
Yeah,
passenger
that's
van?
a good point.
If everyone's like no, then like great. But like, I was standing there when they were like basically not helping anyone because they didn't have cars up yet. Just like.
But if you don't have
Do a
cars,
show of hands.
how are they booking these rentals if you don't have the cars? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it fits in. Like if someone holds onto a car for too long,
I guess, but there was a line of 30 people just standing there with no cars
Yeah.
in that parking lot.
The other
I
line
wonder,
was
what do those
more.
people do?
just sit and wait.
Oh my God.
That was
I
tough.
feel like with rental car companies, the problem with enterprises, they're so well known that you almost want to go with like the thrift or something.
Sure,
like that, I feel.
but Thrifty's. I've rented a lot of cars through this whole thing. Thrifty is like Thrifty, and that's like often the worst one because it's the cheapest. So the line's really long. Like even yesterday, the Avis line was way worse.
Alamo too.
Then Alamo was a little bad, but Alamo, National, Enterprise are all basically the same thing. National would have been the one. That was the one that just
What
sort
is
of
that
went
new
up.
one that looks like a club?
Sixth.
They have. Remember, were you there? We were in Dallas.
Yeah.
Their area is like a club.
They had like a separate little
lighting.
room.
Yeah, they have like a stage with like cars
They're
on it.
LED
lighting.
They're-
Bob would
yeah.
love to
They're-
change
they're
the
the cool
game.
rental car.
Yeah, we've done them a few
company.
times.
They're gonna
Have you
put you
seen
in a
like what their
luxury
people
vehicle.
wear?
No.
The people wear like orange long sleeve button down shirts, then like black like vests.
No.
And they look like Applebee's service.
It looked like they were going to charge a cover to look at those cars.
When my car didn't have AC in the middle of the Florida heat, I had to rent a car because it was so hot, and I went to Six because they put you in a luxury vehicle for cheap. Okay?
Really?
They're going to put you in a BMW SUV.
Whoa.
So I was doing that, but you're right. You go in there, and they're wearing these black vests with orange shirts, and everyone's the coolest guy you've ever seen in your entire life. But it's great.
Swaggy.
I thought it was called
Swaggy.
6T.
I didn't feel cool enough to rent a car there.
I thought it was called 6T.
Maybe.
It's sixth.
With that being said,
Well, I think the T is like
Who knows?
playing on 6T.
Who knows?
we're in the
Could
market.
be.
We're in the market.
We'll never know.
We're not cool enough to
Comment
know.
below.
dude.
Is it
Listen,
sixth or
we're in the
6T?
market for a rental
Partner?
partner. So if they want to, we drive a lot of cars. You drive a lot of cars.
My whole day would have changed if I had. That was literally the reservation that gave me Enterprise Plus, and if I had just had it one reservation sooner, we would have saved. There was no line. Like I would have been next man up when I got there. So that whole line where I was at the sliding glass door and waited that hour in line,
That was tough.
That would have not happened.
And how about
that
the-
would have been a head start. We would have gotten out there.
How about
still
the
would have
bang
waited in that
job?
line, but
How about the bang job that Jensen took yesterday?
yeah, J-Bone got smoked.
You were talking
delayed
about our
flights,
hours.
man.
We might not see him on this trip.
All right, folks, we interrupt this podcast to let you know that gin isn't just for fancy cocktails. Gin does it all. It's versatile and gets the job done. Not just any gin, Stratosphere gin. Give it a go. Start mixing in your Stratosphere gin with your cocktails today. Myself, Fat Perez, and the boys do the same thing. Give it a go. We want to see what you got. And do hashtag BobDoesGin. Let's see what you got.
I got confirmation he got in the car about 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
We'll check in another
J-Bone's
20 minutes,
flight.
make sure he's still
Well,
in
his
there.
flight
Oh.
got canceled from Orlando, which is,
Dude,
mistake number
Tell him
one.
to let us know
And
when
then-
he goes through the Caribou, dude.
Yeah.
Let us know when he
Yeah,
gets
now
to
he's
that
driving
point.
up
His-
from Eugene.
His fucking his plane aborted takeoff.
That's
and
that's
not
the worst.
not
a D plane?
not like got out there and was like, hey, we got to go back to the gate. Like
It started?
like running down the runway
No.
and like slammed the brakes on. That like
Why?
I thought he
'cause
meant they
something happened.
I thought he meant
they had a
they
mechanical
deplaned.
issue. That's what's delayed it. So they worked on that. They delayed it for an hour, and then they're barreling down the runway, and the fucking slammed the brakes on there. Like, we had to abort takeoff. We
I
got to go
thought
back.
he meant
then.
deplanes.
No, well they did deplane, but
But you're saying it was
that's.
That's
Oh,
So
horrible.
he was like, it's going to be a little. He's like, honestly, I don't want to get on that plane.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to change to like a
Oh, he
later
said that
flight.
to you?
Well,
He's
I mean,
like,
like,
I don't wanna-
yeah, like he was going to miss the connection anyway.
get
So
on that
Right.
plane.
we had to change,
me
and
too. I
we had to
get
make a change anyway. But that drive, having made that drive yesterday, mostly in the daylight, which was a beautiful drive, by the way.
Beautiful
from
drive.
Portland,
Yes.
to Bandon, really from Eugene to Bandon, or Drain to Bandon.
Drain.
Him driving that at night by himself.
Oh, no.
After
no.
a long day traveling.
Couldn't do it.
No. So we got
Bend, Oregon is really nice too, by the way. We drove through that. That was
Ben was
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah, Ben was cool.
Ben
Had a
was
little
very-
news sign.
yeah.
Welcome to Ben.
that was
Coos Bay
nice.
was nice.
I
There's
thought
a lot of
Dre-
little towns.
Which one was Ben?
through.
I thought Drain was
Reed
nice.
Sport was nice.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the filming front, film with Bryson, which was a lot of fun. I didn't get to film with him the first time. I had COVID. We did a Breaking 50 with him, which he said he's going to be putting out in 2 weeks. So not this coming week, the week after that, which should be really interesting. Speaking of building, he just did take us to his house, and he's big on like architecture and stuff, and like each room like meaning something. That house tour was one of the wildest things I've ever, just from a sense of how into it he is, was fascinating. And then, yeah, I mean, just talking to him, he's a very interesting, he's a very calculated guy.
Yeah, he
on
sure
and
is.
off the course. You see it on the course, but off the course too. Everything's very calculated. Great guy.
Was it because you obviously didn't come the first time that we played? What was it like if you had to describe to like someone watching him tee off with a driver or like a 3-wood off the tee? Is that not one of the coolest things to witness. Like
it's amazing
how he just like picks a line and just obliterates the ball, but it doesn't deviate from that line.
Funny, we would do like when we did the break 50, like if you hit a good drive, like if I did hit a fairway, it means nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'd hit it and nobody would give a shit because we're not taking my ball. Like it was irrelevant.
Did you take any drives that weren't his?
Yeah, a few.
Couple.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of times he just goes for it. And
Right,
if
right,
he
right.
misses, he misses. But like it's all just big swinging. The concept of it is great because like there's a couple times where I thought we were out of it, and then he can put you on the green on like a par 4, and you're right back into
Did a
it.
shot on a par 4, one of the shots he made with a 3-wood, and he left it like 7 feet from the hole.
It was wild.
And he like the ball's going and you're trying to see, and I'm like, I can't see that far.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, I think it's perfect. And then the cameraman's like, it's 7 feet from the pin.
You know-
it kicked left, and it was like literally, it almost went in the hole. And I was like, holy shit!
You know what's funny?
It was with the 3-wood.
His producers and editors, like the guys that are on the green, he'll put one like 5 feet from the pin, and for us, you guys will like go nuts, like great shot when we get up there. They won't say anything because they're just used to him doing that, so you won't hear anything from them when he hits it up.
Biggest bang job of the day.
What happened?
That
Did your phone
is-
just go through?
There's a crack.
Oh no!
In this fucking couch, and it somehow slipped down there, and I think it's halfway to China.
I didn't hear anything.
I think it's halfway
I
to
heard
China.
it happened, but
It's
So much. In such a small
It sounded like it. It sounded like it just burrowed.
You're gonna get that phone again.
It sounded like it just burrowed through a tunnel.
Holy shit, that was funny.
I don't think. And
I watched it go
try and
on
get
there.
it. They
Try and get it.
Oh, he's not getting that phone.
watched it go.
I did. The side of my eye saw it drop.
Bro, it's like in a basement suites. How does that happen, dude?
Gotta have that week 1.
Oh my god, man!
So we're all good YouTube TV. for
I think
the
so. I
week
think it
1?
repurchased. They
Sunday
do.
ticket,
The Sunday
that's-
ticket used to do that, but they didn't. I didn't see a notification like you Which, listen, I appreciate that they're knowing that I'm going to get it again, but it's a little bit on the
Presumptuous.
brash end
Wait,
that
what?
they're going to charge me without even
renewal?
asking me. Would you like a renewal?
Subscription. They're gonna bang you.
Well, I want to get banged
Sure.
in this case, but like you think
Don't
they
we
would
all?
at least
You want
be
the
like,
bang.
"Hey, we just a heads up, we're
No, they
charging
don't
that,"
do that.
and then but it's not like it's $50. It's like 4 installments of like $140 or something like that.
Good news. Apparently, they got.
Football doesn't come cheap,
They're
boys.
gonna hit you with better split screens this year.
You can customize them now.
Yeah, better
You can
split.
customize. That's what they
Yeah.
claim. They're claiming
No,
that.
wait,
That's
they
a
said
claim.
that's-
all games customized.
That's
Like you can
what
pick
was
a
claimed.
quad box.
Don't make a promise you can't keep.
well, he's
your
not
promise.
Like I
promising,
said,
but-
that's what was claimed.
You
I
can
did not
quad
promise
box.
anything.
That was the
But,
one
like,
complaint
that
I
is what
had
was
about
claimed.
They
YouTube
give
TV.
you the quad box. If you can curate your own,
That
what he's
is
saying.
a
That's what he's
game.
saying.
That's what was
changer.
claimed.
The only thing you're not gonna be able to do is the local broadcast.
Sure.
That's
The
fine.
only
That's
one that
fine.
they'll-
Which
I
would
can live
be-
with that.
you don't think you can add that
Seahawks
in?
probably.
I don't think so. They're
No, it's
usually
black.
you can't watch
It's blacked
it on
out.
there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
blacked out.
What on YouTube TV?
Yeah,
if you're
it's
a local,
if it's a
because
local
it's on
channel.
local TV, like Fox. If
It'll
the
black
game's
out.
on
Because it
Fox
knows your
local,
YouTube uses your
Yeah.
location.
Yeah, but don't local people get the local game? We don't. Do we even have a local?
They
game?
assume that you
Seahawks
also have
probably would
cable
be
and you
local.
would get it
Now
on
you
your
can
local
cable
You
it.
have cable. You have cable with
Right,
YouTube TV.
but you just can't have it on the quad box. You'd have to go out and watch.
You gotta
it
go to
solo.
CBS, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can't use the Sunday ticket telecast.
For the-
Yeah.
But you could add the CBS channel into the quad
But
box.
some people only
Maybe-
have the
maybe
Sunday
if you
ticket.
can-
They don't have the YouTube TV.
Maybe you
aspect, so
can.
in
I don't
that
think
way.
you can.
You
But
definitely
maybe.
the national games.
you've
Like,
got it
like if
all,
the
I would
game is
think.
on, if the game is on Fox,
You have Fox.
but you have to
do.
Fox. You have to watch it on Fox. You can't watch it on YouTube
Yeah,
TV.
what I like to do
Yeah.
is if you do the quad box, I like to do one quadrant. You put the NFL RedZone on,
Smart.
so then you
Sure.
know what
Smart.
you're
Smart.
dabbling with everything, and then you
and you
put
keep the
other
volume on that one.
I
Yeah.
agree
You
with
keep the
that.
volume.
I
The
agree.
problem is, and here's where we really need to come together as a front, and I'm looking over there, is with the YouTube TV. Not you, Yaman.
I think he just called you
I'm
out.
talking to Bob, and he knows what I'm going to say. He has a tendency when he's watching his fantasy teams and his stuff, he'll pull up his laptop and he goes to the ESPN and he knows
he's
the
a spoiler
play
guy.
before,
I hate
and
that.
he gets, and it's like it ruins. I don't know why he does it. It ruins it for him. He won't often say it, but he'll be like,
you're right.
"Oh," and I'm like, "Oh no, something bad just fucking happened." We need to stay. We need to stay on the same front today that we know
I agree.
at the same time. It's like streaming and someone ruining it before you watch the play happen.
There's nothing that
And
is
it's only
my
like a
biggest
half-
pet peeve in the entire world. That's my biggest pet peeve.
We just make our
is
own
people
let's
who
make our own
spoil-
live.
If people
know.
spoil
It's
games.
our live.
I'm not.
And if you
fighting
do it on your own terms, that's totally fine. But like,
No, I'm not-
You're
I'm not
normally
fighting
pretty
it.
good about it. You don't say much, but I see you off to the side.
Yeah.
When he comes to my house, he goes off to the side on the carpet or something, and he's got the thing up, and he's looking, and I look right away, and I know,
You know, something bad
There's
again.
something he'll be like.
I
And I
know.
know, like his players scored a touchdown or something, and that's fine. But like for today, especially with week 1, and by the way, we don't have a lot of weeks all together.
I think
Let me get a
I'm
word
with
in
him.
edgewise.
No, I'm with him. I'm with
I
him.
am too.
Passionate.
That's what I'm saying. But
let
you
me-
gotta let me
he's
defend
trying to
myself.
I think
I'm just waiting here.
spoiling streams should be a criminal offense. Now you can go. I do.
I
really
agree,
do.
but that's why we're hard
Hey, you know
on
what?
it.
I
on the
got one
stream.
thing to say too.
I'm sorry. I'm just very
I know,
passionate.
but I'll be better this year. I'll be better this year. 100%.
Just today.
Kidding me?
Well,
What do you mean? But you then don't spoil. You just lied. You said you were watching RedZone.
All games I called are not on the
I don't
screen.
give
What
a
do you
fuck.
want me to do?
I want you not to say shit that's happening before it happens. It's
The games aren't on
You
the
just
screen.
said that you wouldn't do that, and you're doing it.
For the
Act
games
like
that we're
it.
watching, I'm not going to say a thing.
That's such a bullshit.
Come on, Levis or Levi's.
He does have 4 games down there.
It's such blatant. That's such nonsense. We're doing the same thing. You're a tiny bit ahead.
What's
No,
that?
this year.
Oh,
This year.
all year. That'd be great.
He said just today, but we
No, this year I want to
Yeah.
be better this year.
Good for you, Bob.
Yeah,
One day at a
I'm not-
time.
trust me, I'm taking my licking, man. I get
I didn't
it.
mean to come across so strong. I'm sorry.
You know what's hard too? Sometimes RedZone, like RedZone's always way behind. So RedZone with whatever you have on in the quad box, like RedZone on in a quad box, in a way is almost irrelevant because you find out so far before.
But not for fantasy,
True.
though.
But there's so many
if
games.
it's one of the games that you
Have on.
have on,
Yeah.
but you would have seen that anyway.
guys
Yeah,
see
but
everything,
sometimes, like
though?
even one of the games they have on, they have like a replay. Like they'll head over
Yeah.
and then they show it even before RedZone.
But they do that in the regular broadcast too.
I wouldn't forfeit the box of RedZone, but sometimes RedZone is
The
so
box-
No,
far
I
I
think
do- I do
sometimes
agree
you
with
get
that.
the live replay, like going over to the Bengals game.
Yes.
like like RedZone catches that I think first
Hansen has good
before.
days.
Like you'll see, like
Delayed,
Yeah, but
though.
Hanson's
Yeah.
got a
Oh, it's all-
tendency,
yeah, yeah.
and I love Red Zone. And who am I to complain? Hanson's got a tendency. Sometimes it's like with golf when they hit you, and you can tell by the tone of their voice what's about to happen.
Sure.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like-
for sure.
And if you're gambling on that game or you got a fantasy guy, it's either going to be a pick six and the way he's talking can tell.
Teddy is such.
Yeah, Teddy's great at it.
Teddy said he's figured out the music to know if it's a good or bad play.
Well, Teddy
which is
is
one of the more
crazy.
degenerate things I've
I've
ever
seen
heard.
him
Like,
do it,
he
too.
calls it. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it's going to be
Very
it's probably an interception return for a touchdown." I'm like, and then all of a sudden it's like, sure enough, and I'm like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Oh, the music. It's for sure. It's a bad thing." It's like, how can you?
man.
I get that. Yeah.
Squirtle,
Squirrel, he's
Squirtle
very
knows,
good.
man.
He's very, very
I'd
good.
love to know how many people at one time are watching RedZone. It's got to be millions.
A few million, I would think, right? Or
Think of all the bars. I think millions.
Red Zone's also very good for your fantasy players because they'll show like just receptions or
Yeah.
like first downs, and like if you have a player that you're watching it intently, it helps out as well.
I hate-
it's Red Zone is great.
I hate that we can't get food ordered on a day like today where we only have such select few hours to enjoy the football.
All right, folks, MLB is in full swing. Concerts are always going. That's never going to change. And, of course, NFL is here. If you want to do live events, do it the right way. Go ahead, use promo code BDSPOD10 on the SeatGeek app, which is the best destination to get tickets to live events. Give it a go. Use that promo code for new and returning customers. Download that SeatGeek app today, and we'll see you over there. Enjoy whatever event you desire.
By the way, boys, hey, listen, but you're ready to walk today because it's a fucking
Yeah,
hike.
I'm not got no problem with the walking. The problem is the backpack. I'm a little concerned about that. Not because I said, but there's no carts, no nothing. No dishes.
No dishes.
What was it asked?
Yes, multiple times.
So maybe I'll just leave.
It was
Should we just
actually
leave the
Poppy.
shit?
It was the first thing that I asked is if I could get a maintenance cart or something.
That's gonna be a bitch, dude.
Prish.
It's like it's gonna be like
Is what it
Scotland,
is.
but isn't it more terrainy?
Yes.
Yeah, great, fantastic, sensational. I love it.
It'll be fun though.
We should probably just bring one backpack when we could take turns.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, we really just need the batteries and some other shit.
And by turns, I mean.
You do the whole thing.
Pack light, boys.
Before we head into Q&A, I want to talk a little bit Creator Classic, ladies and gentlemen. Stu, I'll go over to you. Your thoughts, Creator Classic.
It was a lot of fun. It was a really cool experience the day of getting over there and being in the locker room, practice facilities, having some of the pros still working before the tournament starts. So pretty wild to share, a putting green with some of those guys, Scheffler, Fleetwood, to name a few, I guess. Just kind of a surreal feeling. And then having the fans out there, I think the energy was really good. I felt like a really good response on our end. But yeah, it was fun. I wish I could have played better personally. But that is what it is. You have good days, you have bad days. But yeah, I mean, I think it did pretty well. It seemed like numbers wise on YouTube and from what we were hearing real time, it was pumping pretty good. I think the tour had fun with it. The announcers had fun with it. So hopefully it's something that can happen more often, or more golf tournaments throughout the year, or something we can all maybe work together, as the creators with the tour to do it, maybe a little bit more than just sort of tour run and invited, just to kind of get our 2 cents on maybe what works, what doesn't, what leverages kind of our space, personalities more. I mean, I think they're obviously competitive golf tournament focused. This was their first try to get a little bit away from that, but they were definitely still very much like level of play focused, invited players they thought were going to perform well, where I think like you guys should be playing in that stuff. The foreplay guys should be playing in that stuff. It doesn't really matter. Like, do it handicapped. Who cares? Like, our thing's the entertainment. So like, if you really want to, in my opinion, leverage us and what we're doing for golf on their stage, like let us do it kind of our way. But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. It's cool to get everybody together from the space. It's not a lot of moments where I think like everybody, all 16 of those folks are kind of together in one place. That makes it a lot of fun.
Micah Morris had a hysterical caption where it's him chipping out of a bunker next to Scotty Scheffler, and he was like, one guy's playing for 25 million, the other's playing for a Blackstone grill, and it's them just hitting out of bunkers. It's amazing. There was the opening tee shot was nuts. The amount of people like walking up to that was nuts.
He definitely got the biggest ovation.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
That was, and then when Stubby went left of the green, had a really tough chip going down on one. He hit a unreal chip, and as the balls were going closer to the hole, you could hear the crowd building up as it going closer. Reminded me of that. They're going to go nuts when he hits that. Like you could hear
like the murmurs.
crowd around.
Yeah, it was like
It was insane.
That'd be cool,
dude.
It was walking in the ropes was so. I mean, it was us three, me, you, and FP.
Yeah,
walking in the ropes was so. For me, it was so cool. I just wish, to be honest, if you guys were there, it would have been.
I really wish I had been able to be there,
because we had a blast outside of like the golf was awesome, but we hung out, we had a great time, and yeah, like seeing the other creators there was pretty cool. It was like I don't know.
That was
like
cool.
A music festival.
I even enjoyed it right up our like even just being at the bar with everybody the night before, and then you had the mix of in the same hotel you had the pros.
Yeah, they were just walking
and
by.
And then you had the the YouTubers. Like it was this whole mix. It was a lot of fun. I mean, look, I think the queue when we did that was a lot of fun, but that too was so good, and having the fans there was awesome. It seems like they crushed it.
You would think they would keep building on this. And I said on before when we were talking on the Brilliantly Dumb show, it's really cool to see for the first time in a long time that what seemed like a huge bridge between what we do and then the tour it seemed not really aligned and not really maybe accepted for a long time. To see that they were welcoming more of that stuff is awesome, because it gives us more validity in what we do. Not that we need it, but it's cool. And then it hopefully closes the bridge between what we're doing, gives us more access to players and them to kind of see what we do and be more accepting of it. And not like, is this really like, am I willing to go into this, right? So I think for me, from an outside perspective, and I wish I had been there, I didn't see it, but just seeing the broadcast that they did and the time they spent to do it, they really look like they did it well, and to see hopefully that'll just keep compiling moving forward, and that they'll hopefully in the future do like maybe a YouTube Pro-Am or something with the before a tournament or something like that. I think it could be really cool and a lot of fun for fans who like to watch YouTube golf and PGA Pro golf as well.
Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable.
They clearly know how, like, they clearly know how to do a live broadcast, right? They have the infrastructure, they have the personnel, they have all of that stuff to be able to create that live experience, and that's something that we don't really know how to do. We sitting here don't really know how to do. Good Goods, I think, tried that with some of their events that they're doing. And it's not easy. Like you saw the growing, like I think everyone saw kind of the growing pains or heard the growing pains of that, which just like, you know, how often certain people were being shown, you know, cut the transitions, that type of thing. It's not easy. So, you know, that to me is that, you know, along with pros, the golf courses, the tradition, all that stuff, the audience, they have this sort of plug and play, you know, it doesn't matter who they're putting their cameras on, it's ready to go. And they're already setting it up for the tournament anyway. So like, you know, instead of, you know, they raise a lot of money for charity and make a lot of money off the Pro-Ams on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, right? And like get their sponsors in there. There's a lot of value there. But like if they can create that same value charitably, to kind of carve out a half a day and 9 holes away from those and open it up to us, you know, the fans are going to get way involved on site. You know, I think we can do as much, if not more, from a fundraise standpoint on things like that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm sure definitely more to come with that. Let's head on over to our Q&A segment of the show here. Poppy, we head over to you.
All right, well, piggybacking off that conversation, the first question comes from CDUP _4. How does FP feel being able to do the events PGA Tour wise? Has he reached the dream?
I guess in a way, yeah. I mean, sort of, yeah. I mean, the dream would have been to play Thursday through Sunday at some point along the lines, but like, you know, to clearly have given up on that and not have any prospect of that happening, to get even this close is pretty damn crazy, I would say. Yes.
Seeing FP chop it up on the, I don't know who sent I think Jet sent a video. I was like mid-Aloha and I opened up the video and it's just like FP and I think Wesley Bryan like chopping it up with Scotty Scheffler. That was freaking.
I don't even know what I was doing there. I don't know why I even I felt like I could do that. I was
like, damn.
He was talking to Wesley, and I was just like, I'm gonna walk up to Scotty Scheffler and put my hand up like I'm gonna dap, and like I think he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I just fucking dapped him.
But the thing is,
he grabbed. I mean, it was clean as shit. And then Wesley was talking. He was giving him shit for like playing in it, I think. And I was like, yeah, I mean, Wesley could have qualified for this shit if he was any good. Like talking about it, and he laughed, and then I got the fuck out of there.
That had to be cool though, because you're just chopping it up.
Good performance though.
Chopping it up, not as like a fan, but just somebody who's actually sharing the space with him. That's cool. That's really
it was pretty
cool.
wild. And then then on Friday, I went to watch the tournament, and the tour like got me inside the ropes, which was really cool. And I kind of got there when the last few groups were teeing off. So I was on the first tee when Scotty and Morikawa, I think, were going off. And there's like, you know, I'm standing kind of back corner, and it's like the line of like the score or the standard bearer, like everybody that's going to be walking with them for the day. And normally like those guys come on the tee and they give them the handshake, nice to meet you, like, because you're going to be with them all day. You give them a little something. I'm like at the end of that line, not even on purpose, just where I'm standing. And I get that little like nod to Scotty. He nods, thumbs up, and is like, all right, we got something here. We're
Get him on the
building
show.
something here.
18 holes.
Yeah.
He's
funny, bro. Like, remember that I told you the first interaction I had with him, and it wasn't even an interaction with him. He just
was kind of
buried me,
smoked you.
just
Bang
fucking
job.
smoked me. I got like a ricochet shot, and I was like,
What happened there, Stu?
that was
What'd
cool
he
as
say?
fuck.
take us through that.
I was out on the range with Big Wave and Bo when Wave was still looping for him, and just shooting the shit. I think it was Wednesday before we hit our shot, and then Colt comes by because he was caddying for somebody that week, and I'm just shooting the shit with Colt Nost, and Scotty walks by to like go hit range balls, and like, Colt said something to him, and he turns back and he goes, Colt, you've never looked so thin. And I was just like,
the
it took me a
ricochet
second
shot.
to like
Not even
realize
ricochet, that's just
what it was.
right
And I was
there.
like, oh my God, he means like compared to standing next to me. Colt looked thin. I was like, damn, like that was fucking savage.
Yeah.
And I like appreciate
It had nothing
appreciate
to do with Colt. It had everything to do with you.
he looked at me.
It was not Ricochet
He looked
at
at
all. It
Colt,
was
then he
just
looked. He
right
said it,
at
and then
your
looked
heart.
at me, and then walked.
Yeah.
like it was
Yeah.
as clear as day what was
And
happening.
he shot 21 under that weekend.
Yeah, and he won.
he almost
And you know
won,
what?
yeah.
I wasn't even mad. Like that's the kind of shit I love that shit. Like that ain't gonna upset me. I'm gonna laugh at that at 10 times out of 10.
That's good though. That opens the door.
I was like, okay. I mean, like, he has to know that I'm like willing to hear that. Like, you don't just say that to a fat guy that you don't like, some stranger out there. He's like, that guy goes to fight Fat Perez. Like, this is open season on his weight. Like,
This was the night before at the bar. I finally met Wyndham Clark, which was awesome. But I told him I was caddying. Like, I don't think he knows the show enough to know that I don't know like about like the greens. That I'm not going to be like caddying like lines and stuff like that. So he's like going through hole by hole what to look out for, where you can spin it, where you cannot. And I'm just like shaking my head yes through the whole thing. And then FP like comes to the side of us. And he's got a drink in his hand, and he hears the conversation that's going down, and he knows I don't understand any of what Clark was saying, and I'm just like, FP, right? And I knew nothing.
I was like,
Yeah.
he
thought
talking
you
about
were
to play
playing
green
for a
on
second.
12 right now.
Yeah, no, he knew I was caddying. He just wanted to give me help. Yeah, and he was like telling me where to have FP spin it, where you can
On
do this
11,
and
the
that.
rough on 11 is crazy.
He was awesome. I mean, I look forward to. We're talking about filming with him. Now's the time to get all these pros locked in.
Yeah, it sure is.
So, that's something to look out for, starting with the Bryson, and then hopefully, snowball effect from there, because it seems like that's what the fans want to see a lot is the matches versus the pros. The video we have with Bryson, this one coming up is going to be incredible.
And selfishly, they're some of the most fun videos for us to make. So it's a double-edged sword there. They're awesome. I'm sure they're fun to edit, and like there's any sort of match drama is always going to be good. So it's sort of the best.
I was
thing
on
that
the
we can
green
do.
ticket said Bryce. It was hilarious.
He's
Like,
funny,
Bryson's
man.
funny, yeah.
He was taking shots. He was coming at me
he's funny,
hard.
man.
He was very funny.
Yeah, it was great. He was chirping me pretty hard, which is great. It kind of opened the door to everything.
There was one moment where I don't know if we can cut it or leave it in. I'll leave it up to you. But there was one moment where you had one of the very worst shots I've ever seen in my
the
entire
top?
life.
Yeah.
And then he immediately comes in and like he's trying to like make you feel better about it, but it's just so funny. He tells this story of the worst shot that he's ever seen and what he had to reach for to get the worst shot that he's ever
Yeah.
seen just to make you feel better about that one.
He was good
Was
about
You didn't see the backward shot against Brett Snedeker.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He saw it. You showed it to him.
No,
I
he
said
didn't.
he didn't see
But
that
while
one.
he was telling this, I'm saying whatever story he's going to give, I have a worse shot for him. And then he did tell the story, and this one that he
was
had
bad.
was,
It was
pretty
worse.
bad.
Yes.
But I was getting ready to one up him with the Snedeker.
There
but
was
yeah.
a par three. There was a par three. I was on the green, getting ready to whatever, just waiting for you guys. You guys were howling on the tee box for 20 minutes. Apparently, it was
Yeah,
about
that
you.
was-
He said.
It was
I was
about-
sitting up
you
there.
asked him
just-
about diet advice.
I was sitting up there waiting.
yeah.
You guys were from 200 yards away, just howling for 10 minutes. It was. I mean, I can't wait to see what was said.
I was like, is this too far gone, or like,
Oh, you?
can I turn this program around? And he was sort of like, you're gonna need a procedure. I was like,
It's tough.
Jesus Christ. I was expecting, Jim Guy to just be like, nah, man, like,
Grind.
He was
I'll give
al-
you some things to do like this. You're
He was
you're
also
totally
down at
fine.
that
Like,
point, so maybe he was
just any change is a good change, like anything like that. He was just like, get a lap band. I was like, fuck.
Made it good though. I mean, I think he knew enough about us where he can come in and chirp. Like, I didn't expect him to come in chirping like that, and I thought it was great.
I mean, since we played with him the first time, you weren't there, but we've played with so many pros since then, and I feel like he must have seen some of the episodes that we like to chirp with some of these guys, and he saw Homa and Snedeker, and he came on with a totally different. I mean, maybe he's just a different guy now as a U.S. Open winner 2 times, but he clearly got the vibe that we can chirp and have a little fun here, and that's what he did.
But he's unique in the fact that like we get a lot of these pros on, they know how to play their game, right? But they don't. He knows the video game. He knows that he needs to get involved and be fun. Like you said, he hears that fucking beep beep on the GoPro, and he's open, like he's ready to talk.
He almost talked about YouTube more than he talked about the U.S. Open.
I think he really loves.
We were talking about his episode with Trump, and we were talking about John Daly, and he was talking about how he's building it. Like,
analytics.
He's so passionate about YouTube, and it's cool for us. Because, again, it's another bridge that really helps us in this case when you have a pro player who's venturing into it and paving the way for more guys to do it, and talking about different guys, and we won't use any names that he's talked about, who are showing interest in creating their own channels. It's really, really cool for us to see that, because this is a guy who just won one of the most coveted majors and in epic fashion. And he did talk about it, but like, he had so much to say about YouTube, almost more to the fact that it really shows how much he believes in it and where it's going. It's very encouraging to someone like myself or any of us who are involved in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people talk about growing the game, right? You hear that phrase a lot, and a lot of it's empty. A lot of it's just speak. But like he brings it up all the time. He literally has an unreal passion to grow the game of golf in Dallas, to grow the game of golf in general. And I think he feels a bit of a responsibility to that as far as like at his play and his level of play. So, and I think the YouTube and all, quite frankly, the time that the Live Tour schedule provides for him versus a PGA Tour season, he doesn't want to use that time on the beach, out on a boat, traveling the world. He wants to use that time to, do YouTube videos that get new people watching the game of golf. He wants to, clinics and junior related
he really
stuff.
Cares about it, even when
he really does.
He was talking about Rick Shields and Peter Finch and how early on they were with YouTube, and he had
lot of respect.
Immense respect for how much they've helped grow the game.
While we were driving out of the course, I was in his car, and he's talking about YouTube golf and growing the game, exactly that. And we're about to leave the course, and he just slams on the brakes. He's like, see? He's like, look at that. And it was a practice green, and there was like a 12-year-old kid just like working on his putts, like, that's the shit I love. He's like, that's the shit I love.
And he means it, dude. A lot of people say this shit, and they don't mean it. They go, it's the money, it's selfish, it's money. And you know what? That's most people, and I'm not sure it's wrong. It's just life. But he's got this kind of altruistic, higher meaning thing going on.
And it's working, because we've done this for 3 years now. I have never seen more people pop out of the woodwork in golf carts, or kids like come up. He must have had 25, 30 people in one round coming up to him.
And the age
and they were old, they were young. There were guys who were following us for holes just to see this guy hit a ball.
60, 70-year-old
They
men.
were snapping photos of him.
It's crazy.
Cool.
They were coming every which way. All right, I think we've only done one, but Pop, let's do one more.
Do one more? All right. Transitioning from that conversation, what's the most you've all ever spent on a DoorDash order for yourself?
Great question.
Comes Andy Bonham.
Fuck you, Andy.
Man.
For yourself?
I guess just for yourself, not if you're ordering
just for yourself.
Just for you. This is just for you.
I'll tell you what, I've done a number?
Yeah,
He's done Boa Steakhouse.
But that's
I got one higher. When Catch LA went on Postmates,
I didn't know that, thankfully, from my wallet.
I was starving and a little buzzed. If I'm buzzed up, it's game over.
Sure.
I don't know
Money
what
means
the
nothing.
number was. When you're drunk,
True, I feel that way
when
too.
you're drunk, it's irrelevant.
It's going to be way higher. Mine's probably around 100. It would be
What's
mine.
the number though?
I was gonna say I don't know what the number was.
250.
It touched the twos.
It was into the two.
Yeah, mind you, for
But
one
it depends
person,
where
that's
you're
a
at.
lot.
It depends how expensive. Like I've done 100, but From like Panda Express.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't. Listen,
How
it didn't
do you
all get
do
eaten.
that?
You know, you hit it, and then what the real problem is at the end, like the service fees, they bang you. It's like 30. It's really like 70.
It was the service fees.
No, it's really like
It was the
70
service fees.
and then 30.
And then
like
the tip really raises.
But I'm here to say it was Panda Express.
And my
Like a high
worst
one. Yeah.
ever. I used to like to do this thing where I dabble and I do multiple orders at once, but I do one item from a different place. So I'd have like, you know, I don't know, like a pizza or pasta from John and Vinny's, and then I do a steak from somewhere else, and then I did this one time.
So
I
you
think
had,
I did
multiple people
I had
coming?
3 orders coming at once. I had a boba bubble tea. I had a pizza from John and Vinny's. I had a steak from somewhere else.
My.
So I had like three or four different orders coming at once. It was probably close to $200. But I was really feeling myself that night. I don't know why. I just
Yeah, I mean, I think up there in the Bill region, I'm not sure I've touched 100.
With one
100's a
person,
lot
it's
because
different.
the shit that I order, like I
That's
don't
true.
order
Cheaper
from
stuff.
I don't order from like restaurants. That's not the
Yeah.
shit that I
Brown
that gets me
food.
going. I'm ordering, Taco Bell, fucking Chick-fil-A. So you gotta work hard to get to $100 on that.
A good
But
sushi spot's gonna get you there quick.
good sushi spot will hit you hard.
LA had a
Yeah, I
good
mean, I think like 80, probably 85ish.
Which for one person is a lot.
Which is a lot. What you have is like if you grabbed like a 24-hour stretch. If you did an aggregate of a 24-hour stretch for you of Postmates, because you've 4, 5,
Yeah, 5 for sure.
5 Postmates,
Yeah.
throughout a day.
You give me the days that I've had some.
So hitting maybe
horror.
breakfast, lunch,
maybe 3,
dinner.
4 bills in a day on food.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
when you guys are over, yeah, for sure. I mean,
he'll
even just
do-
like with him or with any of you guys, like there's been times where we put something together where it's like 2 lunches, a dinner, dessert.
Bob loves
bagels
doing
in
the lone
morning.
dessert order too, like the
Sure,
rogue.
certainly.
It's okay.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Have you had a
Bob,
have you had a
sweet tooth.
donut since
You do have a sweet tooth.
He ordered a cookie
didn't we have
yesterday
this
from
Taco
Wendy's.
Bell and a donut?
I had a donut this morning.
Fucking good.
Really good.
Those are good.
And I like those
You got
cheeses.
sick.
Yeah,
going to
kind of screwed me for donuts. It was after the Taco Bell
we
challenge.
went to foreplay. It wasn't the challenge. We had Taco Bell at your house.
The night before. Did we film that day before though? I feel like
No, we went to
Here's what
Chevy.
happened.
We went to
Chevy.
Chevy
We did.
with I almost
speed
killed the
golf.
guy. No, I almost killed the guy.
We just played
Are you
with.
talking about
we
when we
just
went to
played with
Quail?
Oh
dude.
yeah.
We
Then we
ordered
got
Taco Bell.
yeah,
We
that
ordered
night.
donuts. Then you went. Then the
Yes.
next day we flew.
Yes, you got
You
sick.
were all fucked
Where
up.
did we
So
fly?
you didn't. We went to
Quail Lodge.
San Jose to go to Quail Lodge for the foreplay
Remember
match.
when you guys went to
QuailLodge.com.
go? You went to go check in, and I was just in the bathroom, just throwing up like
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't think you had a donut for a while after.
No,
you
it
had
took
Taco
a
Bell
long
donut.
time.
was it the
Same thing with Taco
donuts?
Bell. Taco Bell for me, I got kind of got back into it.
Donuts.
I don't know if it was Taco Bell or the donuts, and it kind of affected both. I've been on the Taco Bell, but it took me a while. I was out of the game for a while.
He just got introduced to the Mexican pizza. I
did.
yeah, it's a great
Yum.
play. I wish we could order.
It's a beautiful offering.
All right, well, week 1 is here.
We have 8
but-
minutes to get our bets in.
Yeah, we got a lot of content coming in hot. Keep an eye out. The Bryson videos, good stroke play videos as well. So a lot going on. We love you folks. We appreciate you. That's been another episode of the Bob Does Sports Podcast. We'll see you next time.